lecture. This second lecture, I want to talk now. I've told you about dominion here. Now, we want to now go into the thing specifically now. We want to now begin to take this issue one by one. So, what is dominion? Okay, and in this lecture, I want to talk on what dominion is. It is always good to have a particularist understanding of something. Know what it is. What is dominion? If dominion is that fighter, why of all the gifts that God has, it is only dominion that God desires man to have if he's going to live on earth? Because he knew that Satan had already gone ahead. He knew that there had been a cosmic war before man was created. Many of you don't understand the book of Genesis. Between Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, between verse 1 and verse 2, between just verse 1 and verse 2, there are possibly billions of years. And in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Abi? Then the next one, and there was fire, and the heart was without form, and chaos was upon. Abi? Between that first one and first, between those two passages, those two texts say there are millions of years. That's why when the scientists of the world, they say the Bible must be wrong. How can they say that the earth is just 6,000 years? That even carbon dating of the rock, that shows millions and billions of years. That it is not, but the Bible itself is fiction. And I laugh. The Bible never said that the earth is 6,000 years old. It said man is 6,000 years old. It said Adam is 6,000 plus. It did not say the heart. There was a first world, and there was a destruction. If you test all those rocks, they've been here for ancient of time. If you ever, so you see some skeleton of people you are around in some places. There is a place near Akure, Isaron, okay, Igbo Ilelu or something, where a skeleton, a fish of some, I mean something, was ever dating out of 13,000 years. All right. So what am I saying in essence is this? Have a thorough understanding. Why did God now desire that man must have dominion? Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1. Everybody. Genesis 1. Verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. This was God's intention from the beginning. So, what does it mean to have dominion? When Isaac said to Esau, you will serve your brother, he will rule over you, but until dominion comes. So, black man can begin to look for dominion, because there is a way you can quickly end the yoke. You can quickly end the servitude. To the man who has attained dominion, servitude is broken. Servitude is broken. So, what is dominion? In the sense in which it is used in the Bible, dominion means several things. So, I want us to look at in the sense in which it was used. Now, the Hebrew word that was translated dominion in Genesis chapter 1, verse 8, the Hebrew word that was translated dominion is Rolda. 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 The Hebrew language is very precise. It's a very prophetic language. It's one of the few language, perhaps the only language, where words and meaning or is almost the same thing. For example, in the Hebrew language, space and time is the same word. That was where Albert Einstein began his research. That was where he first saw the key to what now became the theory of relativity that fetched him a Nobel Prize and as a genius. You got it? That's the Hebrew language for you. In the Hebrew language, for example, there is no word for leader. Isn't that surprising? And so many other things like that. Jews believe that God actually spoke Hebrew. Because when Christ came, he spoke. They actually believe that when God said to Moses, he spoke to him in Hebrew. They actually believe that Adam and Eve spoke Hebrew to each other. They believe that Hebrew is the first language. All right, enough of that. Now, so in the Hebrew word, when he said, let us create man in our image after our likeness, let them have dominion. The word translated there and is in many places is rolled down. And what does it mean? It means to tread down. It means to subjugate. It means to crumble. It's a false word. Do you get that? To tread down. I've read the book of Esther several times and I like it. We don't understand dominion. And that's why we are not getting it. You see, the Lord made me to study those three books, to study those three characters, Joseph, Daniel, and Esther. There are ways to earn dominion. It's not just that you pray. Election is coming, you are praying, you have no structure on ground, no link, no connection. You don't even know anybody in any state. No, it doesn't work that way. We have been divided for too long. In the course of this letter, you will see where we have been missing it. It's so sad that unbelievers, Muslims know these things. Dominion means to crumble. In the book of Esther, it said they should stand for their life. And they should defeat whatever want to defeat them. And they should withstand the power of the enemy and tread down. That's dominion. Stand for your life. Stand for your life. Fight for your life. Don't flee. Hold your ground. That's dominion. That is dominion. A servant of God in Warri, sometimes ago, when there was crisis between Ishekiri and these people, these militant people, Ijo, the two are fighting. And Ijo was threatening to come to Warri, to come and also fight, to come and inflict casualty on them. So it was, people are expecting them. And this man of God in Warri, when he had the rumor, people are relocating. Just like some of your ministers, they relocated in 2018. Some pastor I won't want to name. It was then they had the thing that God was calling them to America, to whatever. They were running away, literally. People were big churches. And this pastor too wanted to relocate, to come to Lagos and live, because Warri was to be attacked by John militants. Is that it? And as he was preparing to move, he heard the voice of the Lord. The Lord said to him, if you go, then this city will not suffer. They will definitely come. But if you will stay here, If you stay here where I go, the angels of my presence will stop that thing. As I stop the host, as I sent terror in those days, in the days of Jacob, that they could not pursue the children of Jacob. If you stay, then I also will stay. You know, God is in you. They have not incidental. This is what I talk about, the poverty of modern ministry. You have not taught people this one. Most Christians today don't realize that God lives inside them. So if God is living inside Moses Oludele Idowu, why should I now be afraid? Because a general is angry because I wrote an article. No, why? If God lives inside me, why should I be afraid of assassin? Is he not also? Is there no life inside him? What if he's coming on my way and he dies before that time? Somebody hold the life that is inside him. Why should I run away? Run from my country because Muslim militants are hungry because of what I like. Because jihadists are hungry. If you leave, then they will come and take over this place. Then what happens if they come to Lagos, to where you are running? You will again leave and go to Ghana. You can see the trouble with us. We don't understand dominion. It means to tread down. It means to subjugate. Stand your ground. It means to withstand. You have run and run and run and run, and now, you left the village running from also what they call also wickedness. You ran to the city, and you have forgotten that there is nowhere. In fact, in the city, the witches are more in the city than in the villages. You wanted to have come too for a better life. You ran to the churches, they are inside the churches too. In fact, they are more in the modern church. So where else are you going to run to? When will you stand on your ground? Stand therefore in the liberty where we Christ has made you free, and be no longer entangled in the yoke of bondage. When will you do that? Because whoever is born of God overcometh the world. When will you stand your ground? When will you realize that there is a God that is living on the inside of you, and that not a single string of hair can fall from your eye without his permission? When will you realize that? How long will you run? Today you are running from Islamic militant. Today you are running from that. You are not operating dominion. That's not dominion. That's not why God created man. Dominion means to clear obstruction. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 and 28. Number 24 verse 19. If you are writing fast because of our time. Judges chapter 5 verse 30. 1 Kings 4:24. Nehemiah 9:28. Psalm 72 verse 8. Dominion means to clear every obstruction. If there's an obstruction, we'll clear it. It means to pull down. It means to tread under. And to realize your goal. It means to realize your goal. Yes. It means to realize your goal. A farmer clears a thick forest and plows the ground in order to sow the seed. A builder also has to clear the ground before building a house. Dominion means to tread down. It means to subjugate so that you can realize that your ambition, that your pleasure. You can't build a house in the forest. You can't plant the crop inside this on weeds. You have to first of all clear it. Then put your seed. And then reap a harvest. That is dominion. That's what God created man for. To subdue the heart. To have dominion over the sea. So it is normal. The man today is building ship that is crossing over the sea. So it is normal. The man is creating an aeroplane today that is flying over the air. That's the dominion. That's what God created man for. You are not to be running from fowls of the air, from witches. No, that's not Christianity. Do you know something, people of God? I study church history and I'm shocked. Even our own African church history here, Nigerian church history, I am shocked with what I see. I'm shocked with what I see. Let me tell you a story. While I was waiting for, meditating this morning for this lecture, the story again came to me. It's in my book, Terror of Witches. If you have not gotten that book, please get a copy before it finishes. Because some of these things cannot be reprinted because of the cost now. So get a copy. These are precious things. I want you to just see something. To see the tragedy that has befallen Christianity in Nigeria. Somewhere around 1912 or 1913, I can't remember the exact date. In those early, no, 18 something, 1890 something, to tell you, to show you the level of Christianity for that time. A man was taking the gospel to one village in Ijebuland. I think the name of that village is called Irolu Ijebu. I've done a lot of research in Ijebu. You know, most of the people I wrote about, Orekoya, Odubanjo, all of them, they are from Ijebu. Okay, so I did a lot of research in Ijebu, going to Ijebu. I know most of their villages. This man was going to Irolu to go and spread Christianity. In those days, I'm talking of 18 something, 1896 or thereabout. He was going to plant, not Pentecostal church, not Evangel. No, there wasn't Pentecostal then. He was going to plant Methodist church. Listen, I had story even from old men in my village. I could not believe. These people have Christianity. They didn't have noise. They had Christianity. Today we have noise, not Christianity. The same Ijebu land today that has and the Egba land, Ogun State today that become a den of ritualists. And when the people of the village, because they didn't want Christianity, they have heard that this, Ijebu, if you study history very well, Ijebu resisted colonialism the longest. And it's because of Christianity. Until they were defeated in 1892 at Imagba. They did not want any religion other than their native religion. They didn't want any missionary in their land. They didn't want any colonial. So what am I saying? This man was bringing Christianity. A native, an Ijebutu. Okay? Not a white man. He was bringing Christian. And when the people know that they have heard that they have gone to other village and they have started, and it's coming here, do you know they pay sacrifice? Now listen to me, people. This is a true story. It's recorded in Methodist history. They put sacrifice on the way that it was going to pass. A new fowl, adìyẹ, ẹyin, eggs, all those things now. Those of you who are living in the village that they put sacrifice on the road. And do you know what this man did? It shocked me because if I myself today, I can't do it. You know what he did? The moment he got there and he saw the sacrifice, he said, in fact, we have been trekking for, in those days, no vex. He said, we have been trekking for a long time. God has provided, hallelujah. And God has provided us this beautiful food. And yet, which of you have matches? Eh? And he lighted the magic, gathered firewood. The leaf fowl that the other, he caught the thing and whatever, and they roasted it. Are you following me? They cooked the egg and he ate it. And the chicken caught the thing, they fried the thing, and they ate it. And they proceeded to the same town. And preach Christianity, preach the gospel. Please tell me today. Tell me today, which church today? Do you have that level of dominion? Tell me. Nothing happened today. Not a single string of hair in their hair fell down. Ah! People of God, artists of Bagbon, we have lost Christianity. What we are talking today is fear. What they are preaching today is fear. Counterfeit Christianity. That's not Jesus. We have lost Christianity. We have lost the faith. Then they went on. They did not turn back. They went on still pre-Christianity in that, and people mourn. Nothing happened to this person. He did not fall down. These are Methodists. So mind you, that man did not speak in tongue. He didn't know what he's speaking in tongue. Just this Bible only. The same Bible you are reading today. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now they tell you have to pray a certain number of prayer. Now they tell you that even to enter your village to see also wicked and whatever. All manner of fear-filled teachings. We have done the name of Jesus to something of no, you get it, of no effect. They say call the name of Jesus 7 times. Abi, you've been to the mountain. Call the name of what happened that is only one time it cannot happen. That you have to call it 7 times. That's what has happened. We have lost dominion. We have lost dominion. Tread down. That's what dominion means. That man tread down the thing. All the sacrifice they placed, he tread down, he roasted the chicken and ate it. Abi kilotoku. No, kilotoku now. He ate it, he cooked it and ate it and proceeded. Oh my God. Those are the people who planted Christianity in Jebuland. Those were the people. Those were the people. Those are the people. Today, all those areas today are now very ritualists. A Yahoo boy. They have a school around there. And Abeokuta one around Ijebu. Where the Abi? Eh? And yet there are churches now everywhere. You have lost Christianity. The Lord showed me some years ago. Apostolic Christianity is dead in Nigeria. It's dead. I saw it. Then 5 days of waiting in a day. You get it? When I went there to wait and pray, fasting and praying, I saw it. It's dead. But in my day, and among this group of people, that in my time, the Lord will resurrect this dominion again in this land. God's intention is dominion, and we must recover it. The reason why the enemy hated Christianity, they told me in my village, listen, a Baptist church, because my people are Baptist, they told us, the old people of that day, Baba Ijo that we met during our childhood, they said when they brought Christianity to our land, Baptist, oh, the Baptist, oh, hallelujah. Where is Joseph? To go and do what? Huh? Baptist church. They said while they were meeting, the people of the world, the native, because everywhere they resisted Christianity. That they said one night they were doing meeting one day and they sent snake to them. Think about that. Snake. Leave snake into the sermon. There is no Pentecostal side to the if a snake enter, everybody will run out. And we asked the Baba, what did you do? The Baba Joe was telling us. What did you do when they said they kill it with their leg? They trample it. Yeah. They didn't run. Did you see that? Tell me today, which church today, where that will happen? Baptist church. In the 1920s, in the 19 Baptist. Even before CAC came. Which one represented the dominion of Christ? Between them and those of today. Oh, that is fear everywhere. You are afraid of everything. Afraid of Muslim, afraid of jihad, afraid of anything. No confidence in anything. Dominion means stand. Dominion means to tread down. If they say there is opposition, but no problem, then go over it. If they say there is a mountain in your people, then demolish it. Rather, that's dominion. It means to tread down. God said, let them have dominion. Let them have power to tread down. It is a shame for a child of God to run. It's a shame for a child of heaven to run before a child of hell. It's a shame for a child of heaven to run before a child of the heart of the world. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness overcome it not. The word dominion also is also translated from the word shotan. 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 Which means to have the mastery, to have power, to bear rule, to be ruler, to dominate. Shotan is also from the Hebrew word shotan, to trample, to have mastery, to bear rule. So when the brothers of Joseph said to him, will thou indeed have dominion over us? That's what we are talking about. You mean you will rule us? Where is my Joseph? Okay. Sorry, please. Excuse me. Sorry, please. I'm trying to translate quickly, do some one or two things. Family issue. Sorry. Okay, short time to have mastery, to have rule, to have power. It also means rulership. So when they said to Joseph, will thou rule over us? Will thou indeed rule over us? Will thou have power over us? It also means authority, governmental authority. That's also dominion, aspect of dominion. So work for mastery, because that's also part of your mandate. To have master, to rule over the things that want to rule over you, to rule over the circumstances that want to rule over you, to rule over the powers that want to rule over you, to enslave the power that want to enslave you. Do you know we are slaves now in Nigeria? We are slaves to politicians. They just mess up everything. They just mess up the government, mess up resources. They don't even feel that anybody cares. These lawless criminals. Dominion is not yet, and that's what the place the first lecture. Until dominion comes, you will continue to serve. You are all servants. Until God restore that dominion one day over Nigeria and give it to one of us. Give it to that Joseph you are prepared. We are all servants. We are all servants. When they use money to subsidize pilgrimage, is it not your tax money they are using? So are you not indirectly paying for pilgrimage? The 10%, what I don't work for government. I don't work for anybody. I work for Jehovah. He pays me. But are you not being paid? Are you not eventually subsidizing pilgrimage? So we are servants until dominion comes. And that's why you must work for dominion. You must hasten it. You must pray for it. You must seek for it. You must try and strive for it. But until it comes, you continue to serve. Psalm 119 verse 133. Right? So dominion means to have the mastery. And he says, sin will not have mastery over you. That's dominion. Sin shall not have dominion over. That's the word. Sin shall not have dominion over you. You are no longer under law, but under grace. God made man to have dominion. It was the fall that reversed the story of man. So that today it is sin and death that now have mastery, complete mastery over man. Just mention death today. Say you are going to hold a revival today in the church, and it is there you are going to cancel. I see the kind of crowd. Fear of death has taken over it, which the generation before us of Christians do not know. They don't fear death. They do not fear death. I mean, the man who had sacrifice, was he afraid of death? Because these people really knew God. They know that death is not death is not an enemy to a Christian. People have pleaded with me and begged me, please tone down. This is your article, please. We need you and whatever. But I'm not careless anyway. And I'm not irresponsible. I don't just write unless the spirit inside me move me to write. I don't have the time. I'm working on several books now. Okay? That I want to bring up. Story, because this story of this people must be told. They must not perish. Even if no one will read, I will write them. Your children and great children, they won't be of the same spirit as you are. They will read. They will find their way back home. And they must know the path. That's why I'm writing. If not for you, then for your children and your grandchildren. Today, just announce that death is going to be, and you see the crowd that will come. Death consciousness, fear consciousness, enemy consciousness, negative consciousness. That's what today has taken over the church. Okay? Not God consciousness, not Jesus, not spirit consciousness, not even history consciousness, not even scripture consciousness. Negative thing. And Satan has raised a whole generation of pastors. Whether it's Satan who raised them or their stomach or whatever that raised them, I don't know. But the essence of their ministry is to deprive people of dominion. Because whatever increases fear, listen to me, you cannot be fearful and also be walking dominion. No. In fact, fear is the absence that dominion is absent. Fear is the proof that dominion is absent in your life. Fear had torment. Anytime you are afraid, please know you are no longer walking in love. And you have stepped out of dominion. And you are accessible to attack. Because the enemy can see, they know when you are afraid. They know when you are afraid. One of the greatest regrets I still have today, that I still cry about, I still pain me today, was the day God sent me to the Oba of Lagos, the late Oba of Lagos, Oyekan or something, to go and deliver a message to him. And when I saw all this so-called and whatever, I was afraid. I was a bit scared. You know, I mean, many years ago, how much do I know that? That thing pained me. And then I go, yeah. So when I went to other kings now, get the thing on all the other one, Olubat or whatever, I had learned my lesson. These are some of the things today that have hardened me. I don't fear anybody again. It will never again happen again. If you like, where all the occult element and whatever and so on, and let soldiers and guns, let them carry you, I will never again. Of course, I came to your palace. The worst that will happen, I won't come back. Isn't it? Oh my. We have been ruled by fear. The kind of Christianity today that have been taught us is fear in feeling. It does not teach us to possess, to have dominion. It does not encourage us to have dominion. I told you of an Anglican, I told you of a Methodist church. If I tell you of even Anglican church, Emmanuel Anglican church is saying, you will be shocked. It's in my book. If these people had genuine revival, have you ever heard me speak evil of Anglican church? I know many faults. As a historian, I know some of their flaws. But have you ever heard me speak evil about them? Because I always look at those past. Genuine revival. People who are taught of God, who knew God. That is how you know whether dominion is operating. Dominion is mastery. Is your church teaching you or helping you to have mastery over the circumstance, over the situation of life? Is that experience helping you to have mastery? If it is not helping you or helping your mastery, to master that is not helping your dominion. Dominion means mastery. Take note of all these things. These are the original words from the Bible. Shotan, mastery. If you are not gaining mastery, if you are not gaining a hand over that thing, you are not having dominion. To have dominion, you need mastery. Dominion means mastery. If you master well the art of swimming or tennis playing, for instance, then you have dominion in that area. That's why today you call people to come and teach even universities today. My friend, Robert Leadon, as a teenager, I used to lecture postgraduate students on Africa, on God's generals, because he knew on that subject, he could engage senior lecturers, professors on that subject. Mastery means dominion. In any area where you have mastery, you have dominion in that area. That degree that they give you in those days when degrees are still degree, PhD today, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not despising anybody, anything, please. Please, I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you everything today. We are losing dominion. Just to tell you, just to show you. We went for a conference some years ago, many years ago, many years ago, and presented paper. Okay? The late Professor Peel was supposed to be the respondent. You know, after you have observed a senior man, an established man, a man of dominion, a real great scholar, will now respond and then collect all your paper and assess it. The two papers that I presented were successful. I'm not even interested in scholarship. Were accepted for publication. Now the professor was now telling me, he said, the certain. He said many of the papers that are given by even PhD firms, he said they were rejected. They said they could not even go. They were not accessible. Please, I'm not despising anything. I'm just trying to tell you that, see, it's not only, even in academics too, dominion is reducing. Mastery is reducing. We are losing mastership. We are losing mastery at a fast rate. And that's why economic power too is reducing. That's why a professor today is not paid as highly as in those days. Why in the 60s? Why will you want to go to abroad when Naira is even stronger than dollar? Why will you want? Mastery, we are losing mastery. But there, to be honest, you cannot convince a professor of that day, of the 70s, of the reality to the one of today. So as mastery is reducing, so too power too is the economic power, financial power too is reduced, everything reduced. Because as I will show you in other lectures, when dominion increases, your enhancement increases, your power increases, including financial power. All these things answer. Money answers to dominion. There is a psychic power that controls money. I told you, I said in those days I will fast and fast and fast for money to even come. But today that yoke is broken. I don't have to pray again for money. If I lack anything now, I just, well, if I'm looking at my account now, my balance now, okay, I need this thing. I'm looking at, just looking, I've not said anything. Be within try and truth, somebody will say, if not from Asia, from America, somebody will say, dominion. I cannot again be fighting over money, praying over money. I've passed that stage. I've had mastery over that one. One day too, I will share that with you. What the Lord taught me about on the issue of money and the secret key to prosperity. Secret key to prosperity that you have not had yet in your prosperity houses and gospel. From the Bible. You know, the trouble is that many of us are not seeking God. We are not seeking Him. When you really seek Him, He will be fond of you. If you seek Him about the subject, Lord, what is this thing? If you seek Him through His word, He will unveil Himself to you. It means to master that your job. If you are in a place of job, in a particular place, please master it. Dominion comes that way. Master that skill. Possess that skill. If you are a journalist, be a good one. If you are a teacher, be an excellent one. If you are a preacher, be the best. If you are a scholar, be excellent. If you are a writer, be so distinguished that nobody can put you aside. That is how dominion comes. Mastery, mastery, mastery. Don't be a mediocre. You won't get dominion. That dominion won't come your way that way. Mastery. The word dominion also means masha. Masha. It means also to rule, to have power over, to have rule over. You see that in Genesis 37 verse 8. You see that in Judges chapter 14 verse 4. You see that in Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 37. Job chapter 25 verse 2. Psalm chapter 8 verse 6. Psalm chapter 19 verse 13. Daniel chapter 11 verse 3. Micah chapter 4 verse 8. Mosha. Mosha. To rule. Why has God not given us dominion in this nation? Because enemies have been ruling us. Enemies of Nigeria. Enemies of the gospel. Antichrist. Do you know that the chapel in the Aso Rock has been shut now for 2 years? Since the time that this man came, it has not been opened. They have not opened it. No prayer has gone out to God from your state house. That's why they are falling from one error to another. But there are 4 mosques in the city of power to the moon and the crescent god of Arabia. Abi, no name of Jesus is mentioned. When we were talking before the election, the religious profiteers, they will not let us talk. Oh, his wife is a pastor. Oh, his wife is this. Oh, his wife is that. And that expressway church, that allot church. Next year is the year of my battle. I want to clear the biography I'm writing. There is war in this nation. Next year, I will take your churches one by one, and I will naked them. I will go to their history. Okay? I will naked each one by one. Next year is the year, by the grace of God. Beginning from Celestia, beginning from with CAC, with KNA, and everyone, where they went wrong, from their origin. I'm an historian. Let their scholar, let them meet me. Or let them confirm me or prove that what I've said is not true. Dominion also means to have power over. Where is that today? He's a pastor. His wife is a pastor. Where is he today? And yet, the chapel is shut. No prayer from us. Okay? But occultism is running rampant. The wife is a pastor. Where is your church now? Where is the expressway church now? May Redeem not sell this nation. May they not sell Christianity. Because what I saw is very bad. I won't tell you. I can't tell you all these things. May he not sell Christianity, this nation, to the Antichrist. May that church, with his ambition, with a Luciferian ambition, May he not sell the church, the Christianity in this nation, to the Antichrist, or open the door like Abimelech did. Abimelech went to his mother's bed and said, "Is it better for me to rule over you, or for the sons, all the 70 sons of Gideon?" And they said, "It's better for you." And they conspired and they killed all the other sons. May that not happen. Because I see that spirit in that church. May the Lord forgive me if I've. But I'm saying, as a prophet, by the grace of God, I see things that you can't see. When I was warning you that time, when that woman was ordained as a pastor, those of you who are holding of here in this platform, in this movement, you will remember I wrote an article. You will remember I wrote an article in 2018 when he was ordained as a pastor. I wrote an article that went viral, that tore almost this platform with pro and con and whatever. Have I not been proved right today? No answer. All the things I said now, I see not happen. 6 years later, when a prophet, when an apostle speaks, apostle can see. There's what is called discerning of spirit. An apostle has that. When I'm talking to a woman, I not only that, I can also see the spirit that's motivating her. It's called discerning of spirit. It belongs to the office of an apostle, a genuine apostle. You are better wake up. What I see is not too good. Okay? What I see with, particularly with this church, what they are going to do in the future, the Lord will help us. Dominion also means memshala. It's also taken from the word memshala. These are not Hebrew words. It also means a realm. That's important. Please listen. Listen to this. Dominion also means a realm. Not just rule alone, but also even the realm over which somebody rules. A realm, a government, to rule, power. You see that in 1 King chapter 9, verse 19, 2 King chapter 20, verse 13, Psalm 103, verse 22, Psalm 114, verse 2, Jeremiah 34, verse 1, Daniel chapter 11, verse 3. It means the realm of a ruler. It means a rule. There is a place where your rule is recognized. There is a domain, a place where your rule, an area. For example, now you can abuse me, you can do, but you can't come to my house inside this where I am now, inside this archive now, inside this office where I'm giving this lecture now, and come and abuse me inside here. You won't end well. So everybody has his own area now. That's dominion. The place where your dominion is recognized. A realm. That's also dominion. That's dominion. Your realm. Hallelujah. A land of dominion, a region, a territory where your dominion is respected and recognized. Your dominion is not recognized or respected everywhere. It is only respected in your own land. Dominion also means realm. In your own realm. It also means domain. In your own domain. It's also the word domain. Dominion also means moshol. Moshol. It also means domain. You know that word, those of you who use. It also means your domain. Your empire. Your realm. Your domain. Where you have dominion. And where your dominion is obeyed and enforced. An apostle only has authority in the churches founded by him. He has no authority over other churches. That's where his domain is recognized. That's where his dominion is recognized. That's his domain. A professor only examines authority in his area of discipline. He can only examine in his area of discipline. Because you're a professor of chemistry, that doesn't give you dominion over civil engineering. No. Your dominion only exists in the area of your expertise, in the area of your mastery. That's where your domain ends. Your domain ends where your mastery ends. That's where your domain ends. And the word dominion is also from the word bahaya. From the Hebrew word bahaya, it also means to be master. I think I've explained that. You see that in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. So what is dominion? It means all these things. All these things that I've said. David went to establish his dominion. Did you see that? To establish his realm. To establish his domain. It is you who will establish your dominion. Okay? You can't compare people to follow you. All those of you here by the grace of God, I didn't compel any of you to follow me. Every day I get letter, I get it. Thank you very much. Please, can you add me to your? I didn't. They read something that I wrote and it inspired them, and they want to join. People also write, please, I want to learn how to write from you. And some say, I want to learn this teacher. Please, can I join? You get it. Everything today by the grace of God. I don't have any church anywhere. All the invitation I get everywhere, all the, including to the university, including to everything, even to government to come and see. It is true what they read what I wrote. That's all. Dominion means in your domain. You have to establish it. This is my domain. Where do you have skill? Where do you have expertise? Where do you have mastery? Where can you bear rule? That's where your dominion is. Look for it. Seek for it. Pursue it. That's your dominion. Let them have dominion. First Chronicle 18:3, and David went to establish his dominion. He went to establish his dominion. And years later, when Solomon came, when his son came to them, you see nobody raised a single finger because of the dominions that the father has established. Your children they will enter into rest because of the labor today that you do. If you are able to possess dominion, because they will recognize it in your children. It is based on man's effort. Did you see that? He went to establish his dominion. He had to fight. He had to wage war. He had to wage war until he established his dominion. All the land that God promised Israel, Joshua only fulfilled some. Moses led them to some. He gave inheritance to 2.5 tribes before at least he did something. Joshua gave to 7 tribes, to 9 tribes. There were still tribes like when Joshua was about to die that had not gotten any inheritance. In the days of David, they got their inheritance. So it is extending. It's extending. You see, with all our noise, with everything, where the people left Christianity is still where it is today. We have not overcome any new ground. In his day, Babala preached even as far as to Sokoto. He went to Bashama in Bauchi. He went to all those places. Where he left is still where it is today. Where they left in the scientists, we have not conquered any new ground. So you have to try to establish your own dominion. I will end this second lecture here. And let me end here by explaining this, because this is important. I mentioned it in the first lecture, but you need to get it clear, because this is where people are missing it. Please listen carefully. God does not give people dominion. He does not. In every place where it is mentioned, it always emphasizes that men must have it. Not that God, when he created man, he said, let us make man in our image and let them have. Did you see that? Let them have. Let them have. He did not say, let us give them dominion. No, let them have. He didn't say, let us give them dominion. God does not give dominion. He gives authority, but not dominion. Dominion, you have to acquire it. In the other lectures tomorrow, by God's grace, I will dwell especially on the process by which dominion is acquired. So what then is the difference? I said God does not give dominion. No, he doesn't. And I will give you an illustration that you will not forget as long as you live. He gives authority. Only when he sent out, when he has chosen his 12 disciples, he gave them authority. Even that one has a process. I will speak on that maybe one of our intercessory or whatever. We are still coming for the physical convocation in July. Don't forget. Try and make it. You know, we can share a lot when we are together physically. Now, what is the difference between authority and dominion? Now, listen carefully. This is where we are missing it. Authority and dominion is like this. They are like two sides of a paper. They are like two ends of a stick, of a rod. Authority is the lowest form of dominion. Dominion is the highest form of authority. Authority is the lowest form of dominion. Dominion is the highest form of authority. Authority is God-given. When Christ called his apostles to himself, he gave them power. That's authority. And they went out. And they cast out devil, and devil obeyed them. Because he obeyed the authority of Christ. He could see the owner of the authority. And he bowed. They spoke to sickness. Sickness disappeared. They spoke to disease. Disease disappeared. The disease was not respecting them. It was respecting Christ. It was respecting the authority of Christ. Another time again, he sent another 70. He also gave them the same power. Even Judas was among them with his greed and covetousness. Even demons obey him. Sickness obey him. Even with his covetousness. So a pastor can be committing fornication. Listen to me. A pastor can be sleeping with women. And there are so many of such now. And sickness will still obey the command. They still obey. But now, finally, when Christ was now about to go, he now called them. That authority that you are using is mine. That dominion is mine. In the next lecture, I will tell you how Christ himself came with that dominion. Because there is nothing that anybody used on this earth that didn't follow normal processes. God is not a respecter of person. Even Christ did not operate as a son of God. He operated as a son of man. He operated as a son of man. He deprived himself of that glory and that power. And he lived as a normal human being. Everything he did, we can do. And even more. So, Jesus told them, that power, that authority, that dominion belongs to me. I am now going. So if you have to sell your shirt now with fasting and prayer, if you have to pray and swear till the shirt on your heart, on your body, tears to please, that was what saying. Till you to get this sword, this dominion, please do it. Because the owner of the dominion is going. When I said to her, did you like? They said no. He said, when I said to the second that, did you like anything? He said no. He said, now, Judas are even with all the stealing of Judas. Have you ever lacked it? He said, now, the owner of that dominion, there's a reason why you don't lack. And I used to tell my children, I said, as long as I'm here, nothing can befall, nothing, no evil can happen to you. Because I'm here, the owner of the dominion is here. This demon must recognize me. Death must recognize me. They must fear me. But one day, the owner of that, so you better begin to work for your own. You better begin to earn your own. And that's why I says, you better stay in the upper room till you too will be endued with your own dominion. So that when you walk on the scene, things will change. Look at it this way. The seed, it represents the authority. This is the best way you get it. The harvest represents dominion. That's why God does not give people dominion. He doesn't. He can't. You have to fire it yourself. He gave them the land, but you must cultivate it. You must plant the seed. You must weed the weed out of it. Did you see that? You have to do that. That's why you cannot give. Look at it. I will give you another illustration. There is something called yam, isn't it? There is something called pounded yam. Now, nature does not give you pounded yam. You can never dig from the ground and get pounded yam. Never. What nature gives you is yam. If you plant yam, if you do whatever, the only thing we eat is yam. Now, how do you turn yam to pounded yam? That is your own effort. Yam is the authority, represent authority. Pounded yam represent dominion. So between authority and dominion, before authority becomes dominion, there are processes. Just like before yam become pounded yam, there are processes. You have to cut it, you have to peel it, you have to cook it, you have to pound it. Those are processes. God will not do that for you. Nature does not do that to you. And that's why I say, let them have dominion. It is you who will have it. It is you who will acquire it. All it will give you is the seed. It is for you to turn it to harvest. Why was God angry with that one talent guy? He said, you wrap my talent and go and hid it. Why did you not sow it? Why did you not give it to the bankers? So that at my coming, I will collect my interest. Did you see that? But the other, they went out, they traded. I will be talking about that in the next slide.